Hello. Today I'm going to be looking at this. Now, this is a magazine I almost thought I imagined. I say imagined. It's one of those that you mention to people and they just go, never ever heard of it. And it's only something I've added to my collection fairly recently. It's not something I'm probably going to keep, but I just wanted to sort of take another look. There's certain issues of magazines and certain titles that I'm not bothered about collecting them all. Like at the moment I'm trying to collect a few ST Actions because that was a big part of my collection back in the 90s. But then, as I've said so many times, I used to buy nearly every single games magazine I could. And then you got quite a few where there's only a couple of issues. Recently done a video on Mean Machine's PlayStation, short-lived. There was a handheld magazine done by Dennis called Fistful, not one I've ever had. And again, that was probably about 1992, something like that. And again, other things like, Super Nintendo magazines in the past, they only did, like a handful of issues and stuff. But with this one, Game Mania, it started off on very cheap. I'm trying not to sound too harsh on this because it's self-published and it's something I'm going to touch on in a minute. Like I say, working on a magazine nowadays is hard work, putting out two 60-page magazines every 6 weeks. So this one was issue 1 dated November 1992 and it was 95p, so even before when I've said Games X 1991 to 92 cost like 70p. Obviously it was quite glossy magazine. This one has gone for the newspaper route, but it's still got a back page, but you can open it up, so it's like this. I'll zoom in because obviously we're talking bigger pages today, really. So all opens up. So again, read it like a newspaper. Looks like I'm sat on the toilet. I apologise for that. Apologies even for that. But here we go. Welcome. In this first nationwide edition of Game Mania, each month we'll bring you an increasing Bible of games info, all systems, all games and accessories, together with the recommended retail prices, plus news, reviews, tips and cheats, readers' letters and charts. Look out next month for the Game Mania Christmas competition. First prize, a trip to Euro Disney for 4 people. So not a bad prize at all. So what have we got here then? We have got reviews, Alien 3 Mega Drive, Street Fighter 2 SNES and Sonic 2. Enough said. Level 16. Oh, levels is in the page numbers, I think. Something I'm not that keen on straight away. And then what have we got here? We have got the Christmas console market, the games console market, reader's guide, going through how many bits each console is and things like that. But anyway, let's delve in and Jesus Christ, have a proper look at this. I got this about 2 weeks ago and I had a proper look through it, but bearing in mind this is 1992, it's trying to fit everything in, so I'm flopping around a bit here. Amstrad games, so a full page of Amstrad titles with a picture of a joystick. Well, that same as a complete. See, it's all very disjointed, this. So it's going through these Amstrad games. So Amstrad PCW games and how much the RRP is. Let's have a look. Let's try to go for we'll say a budget title. What have we got? Bubble Bobble, $3.99. Oh, okay, great. I don't know if it's meant to be like a buyer's guide or what, but it just seems very weird to start your magazine / paper with that. And then straight away we've got Lynx games. So a bit more information at least. A little bit about the Lynx 2. And then down here we've also got some upcoming games for the rest of the year at the start of 1993. I'm pointing this out because things do improve, but I just look at this and I'm still puzzled. So anyway, massive advert, I think. It's not even really an advert, it's just words put onto a piece of paper. you know, like random things. So the Atari links, some facts about the Atari links. Is it an official advert, or is it just something that they've set out on, you know, a program for PC or Mac or whatever, you know, to do sort of like newspaper layouts. And then we've got a look at Atari games, but that's for all Atari, the 520 STE, the 7800, the 2600 as well, the 1040 STE. So again, list of games, which goes on for 2 pages. Oh, but here we have some normal things you'd expect in a magazine. Mean male. Okay, so I don't know how mean this is. I don't know if it's a play on words against mean yob, you know, because everyone liked being insulted a bit back then, you know, asking for a game and told to F off or something like that. Or, you know, who's best in a fight, Sonic versus Mario, you know, stuff like that. So what have we got? Dear Grouch, your column is great. I don't know how when it's issue 1. I can't believe that you're not tall, dark and handsome. I think your attractive visage is complemented by a warm and charismatic personality, surpassed only by your kind and generous, very generous nature. I'm sure your skill at games would make us national champion if only your natural modesty would allow you to boast of your talent. You're so modest and unassuming, you allow lesser people to beat you at games. I think that your column will prove to be the best of all games mags. Yours with respect, Matthew McCann. P.S. You can send my price, Sega Mega Drive format to my home address. And then the replied, the Eternal Grouch is a character. I am tall, dark and handsome, but you're a suck up, so naturally I like you and don't think I'm sending you a game, don't write again. Very strange. Things like, is Street Fighter 2 coming out on the Amiga? Yes. Is Terminator good on a Mega Drive? Yes. And yeah, I'm not going to read the last one because it's, I suppose, quite sexist in today's climate. Anyway, we have got some actual news and a few little things like that. So we're actually talking like a bit more of a proper magazine now, what you'd expect. What have we got? Virtual reality is ready to escape. And then we've also got some upcoming Disney titles, which were really good at the time, you know, the Capcom ones, and anything on a Mega Drive or SNES, if it was Disney, was brilliant. And then we've got, I'll just share this obviously because of the Amiga Addict link as well. We've got 2 pages there on the Amiga, a facts page, and then another one looking at, you know, the different bundles, is it? Yeah. Cartoon Classics pack, £400. We've got Commodore 64 there, still for £100. And it's going through, the CD TV drive, £400. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of money. Your charts. This is your chance to create your very own top 10. Quite basic. You just tick the games you want to make up a chart. I suppose it just makes your readers chart rather than actual sales chart. A couple of pages there on prices of Amiga games and IBM. Okay, right. Talking about the big colour pages now. This is obviously where the money goes. We have got a couple of adverts there. You tell you what, we have got some, you know, good adverts to get, you know, companies such as Elite and, you know, Virgin and involved and things like that. But it's a preview of Sonic 2. Now, at this time, 1992, Sonic 2 is just about to be released. We've also got, I say a review, but it's about 30, 40 words of Street Fighter 2 on the SNES. So looking down there, there's the scores that we gave it. Not a very lot of space. Well, not a lot of space. Considering they give 2 pages for an A to Z list of Amstrad games in 1992, almost 1993, yet they give Street Fighter 2 probably about 150 words, but then rate it 94%. It just seems a bit crazy. And then we've got loads of stuff on the Game Boy. I'm going to flick through this one quite quickly because it's actually annoying me a bit. There's some things I don't mind, and you go, well, you know, it's like almost like a fanzine. Oh right, here we go. We've got a big advert coming up for Sonic 2. Here we go. Like I say, though, things do improve in a minute. We'll be up to that if I can fold this back over. Yeah, the last couple of things now are just, it's 32 pages basically. 32 newspaper pages. One thing I'm just going to point out, because I saw an advert for this earlier, if I can, that games chair there. I mean, obviously they look so comfortable. You know, they marketed these different games chairs compared to like what you get now. You know, you go into say Smiths or anything like that, or Argos, and you know, proper leather games chairs and everything like that. I'll be covered in like different games characters and stuff. But yeah, a lot different back then. But that wasn't the end for Game Mania. It did change, and it did change into more like a proper magazine. I know I've been very harsh on issue 1. It's more like a small buyer's guide. I know it's only £1. I mean, I suppose you could just read it quite quickly. And they didn't obviously talk about, you know, what staff they had on and stuff like that, because with this, the independent computer games magazine, and I remember first seeing it, because I don't recall seeing that first issue, but on the Big Breakfast back in the 90s, you had Zig and Zag and Ben the Boffin, who would do the game section. So again, it was quite popular. I think we did a game section twice a week. It wasn't every morning. Obviously, you had digitizer for that. And they had the family on who worked on this magazine. That's how I found out about it, you know, and I remember going to a few different local news agencies looking for it. And I finally found it. It didn't last for that long. I mean, this is issue 5, May 1993. Quite a nice glossy cover. Like I say, more like a magazine. A bit of a similar layout to some of the American mags, in a way. Lots of pictures, not many words, and quite a lot of adverts. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm not going to spend too long on it, otherwise we'll be here again all day. So, meet the team. As you can see, some of these people are quite young. At the time, I was trying to make my own magazines, which were just pen and paper photocopy jobs. So who am I to judge? Because again, there's been an improvement. There really, really has. So Adrian Lisley, don't know what he's up to nowadays. For all I know, you know, he could be keeping hold of, like, you know, these memories. I think I would if I could. Lee Ford, Alex Lisley, his brother, and then someone called Martin Betts, the dad, maybe, or Motorhead, maybe the dad. Anyway, more like a proper magazine, proper contents page, loads of stuff, tips, news, previews, competitions, things like that. Anyway, let's get on to it, otherwise I'll be here all the time. I shouldn't have spent so long on the first one. So we've got, again, some big news stories here. We have got the barcode battler coming. Piece of kit I always wanted to try, still never have done, you know, because I like the idea of just scanning shed loads of barcodes. You know, will my Kellogg's Frosties beat, I don't know, the Bachelor's Soup? Who knew, you know? Maybe that could be a good column, you know, 30 odd years on, just see what characters came up on your barcode battler, if it still works. Anyway, right, so let's carry on. We have got latest American shows. So we've got a new calculator and some tech kit here. Again, it's that sort of virtual reality challenge and stuff, isn't it? You know, we want to bring gaming into another dimension and everything like that. But we have now got the charts, Japanese charts. A lot easier to read than make your own chart up and tick a load of boxes. That makes sense. I know now that Dragon Quest V was #1 in Japan, rather than just tick a box and you choose. And then what else have we got? We've got a lot more words. Well, these are previews really. So again, Elite, giving them quite a few things to go at. Striker there, Dr. Franken as well. Bearing in mind, you know, we have the advert for Elite, so Elite back then must have been on decent terms with magazines, you know, to help them out and stuff. We've got quite a few things here for Amiga and ST. The ST just about hanging in there by 1993. What have we got? We've got Firehawk, we've got Little Devil, which did eventually come out, but not quite at that time. And Warp Speed. I've Beholder 3 on PC. We have got a massive word search and also a feature on virtual reality. Again, what just saying, so this is around the time, you know, you're getting your virtual racing and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just a bit of news actually. It's not a massive feature. God, this is a game I really don't like, but it's a preview and it looks quite a nice preview, set out well. Bubsy on Super Nintendo. That came out about September 93, I think it was, something like that, maybe a little bit sooner. What else have we got? I'm just trying to have a quick flick. Lemmings 2. So again, we're using now, you know, more or less a full colour magazine, a lot more screenshots, giving it 90%, an actual better breakdown as well, you know, when it comes to reviews. You know, I think they have given this like a proper relaunch, and I think that issue 1 does look like a one-off. You know, everything there getting a proper spread, a lot more space to write about the games. And what else? This is quite a funny one. I shared a picture of this on Facebook, but we've got some tips for Zool, the arcade game. I was like, Zool an arcade? But earlier on in the same issue, they have got a small news piece. Zool heads for arcades. So one day maybe that's something I should actually inquire about, you know, look into why it never actually came out, you know, for arcade. A couple more reviews here. So some games I've never ever heard of. Johnny Castaway, not a game I've played, they gave it 60%. And then we've got Galactic Warrior Rats. Yeah, not one that I've played. What else? So again, we're covering a bit of everything. Oh, we've got 7th Guest in Empire Strikes Back as well. So, you know, we are covering a lot of big titles. This is one that I used to have. Japanese import review of Ranma Half. So this eventually got a UK release as well, because I remember getting it from Super Nintendo. 1-1 beat 'em up. 88% they gave it, which again seems like a fair score because it's not a bad one at all. And then it's telling you how to do special moves and stuff. Those sort of things are quite good. And then we've also got the Disney competition. So we're doing this over a few issues. I don't know if another issue of this magazine came out after this. Hopefully it did, because that was part 3 of the competition. We have got, this is actually quite a, oh no, I see, some things I've got, oh this sounds interesting, but then it's suddenly cut short. So I'm going, oh that looks alright, you know, feature on Space Crusade on Amiga. You know, it's like A Voyage Beyond Gremlin graphics, and it's there chatting away about it, but it finishes over 2 pages and there's not that much stuff there, sadly. We've got, what else? Load of different tips and cheats. There's something that I always loved seeing because I needed them. And, you know, action replay codes, stuff like that. So, before, when I was moaning about lists of games, so the Amstrad list, the Amiga list, the ST list, the IBM list, everything, you know, 2 pages just of lists of games. We're doing it a little bit better now. We have got the top games, still again by systems, but a few words about them and a score as well. So this is always a big deal, you know, in mags back then, we'd update these lists and everything. And then a nice spread on a bit of a like mini buyer's guide, really. Having a look at, you know, what's available, what you get in the box with the different consoles. And then, again, there's the Sega one. different bundles and everything. And then I think that's more or less it. I mean, this is 80 odd pages now. Oh no, we have still got a bit of the ST there as well. I said ST just about hanging on. I say end of 93, I've said before. The ST was officially dead by then, you know, well, in the commercial sense. And then, yeah, we've got the Amiga games, ST games, PC games, but at least this time we've streamlined them a bit more. So they've all, you know, got their own column and things. A lot easier to read. Really, really is. And then that's how it ends, really. So we have got a handful of reviews. I mean, how much was this? This was £2, so it's doubled in price, but it's 92 pages. It's a lot better layout. Like I say, self-published, looking at that. I don't know how many more issues they did, but I don't remember seeing it very often. You know, the issue that I bought as a kid, I'm pretty sure wasn't that, but I got rid of it absolutely ages ago. I think I cut bits out as well, you know, as I sometimes did with the odd magazine back then, if it's one that I wasn't bothered about collecting. But yeah, that's it. Game Mania magazine never gets mentioned. It's just, I suppose, a few fellow magazine nerds, they'll remember it and stuff. But yeah, I just want to have a quick look. Anyway, keep an eye out for more videos, and I'll speak to you very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.